NewsX has been running the Fill the Seats campaign for the past 4 years, demanding that the seats reserved for PoJK residents and Kashmiri Pandits must be filled in the Jammu Kashmir Assembly as well as the Indian Parliament. NewsX's campaign to fill the seats is gaining momentum, with several PoK refugee organizations now writing to the Home Minister for the fruition of this long-standing demand for representation and integration. We continue our campaign and speak to key voices on this particular show. Joining me at this point in time is Mr. S.P. Vaid, who's been a part of the police apparatus and the ecosystem in fact, Jammu and Kashmir. Mr. Vaid, appreciate you speaking with us. The first question that I want to ask you is, we've been running a campaign to have the empty seats in the parliament filled in, and they are meant to, rehabilitate and reintegrate people who've been displaced from that region and are living in India now. Has the time come for, this particular process to start?
I think it is time we should show the political will, because the Indian Parliament recognizes that the people of PoK are part of India, and territory also belongs to us. It has been forcibly taken in 1947, and I think time has come that we give due representation to the people who represent PoK and who are now living in various parts of India, including Jammu and Kashmir.
Mr. Vaid, the Parliamentary Committee has asked for a new census of PoK displaced people living in India. Should we go about this at the earliest? What do you have to say?
It is time that we do that, because earlier the estimate was about 6-7 lakh, but I think now there is 4 generations, and the number, as per one estimate, is more than 15-16 lakh, 17 lakh. I think a fresh census should be done in this respect.
Mr. Vaid, reflect upon the history that will be made when the first MPs representing Mirpur and Muzaffarabad take their oaths in the Indian Parliament.
It would be a landmark day and show to the world that India's political will, India's military resolve, India's as a nation, resolve as a nation to give voice to the people of Mirpur, Kotli, Muzaffarabad, who actually belong to the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir, and now in the possession of Pakistan. I think it will be a landmark day, the day these one of their representative takes oath in Indian Parliament.
And Mr. Vaid, how do you think this decision will strengthen the claim of the Indian Parliament that Pakistan-occupied Kashmir is a part of Jammu and Kashmir, and that is in turn a part of India?
It will demonstrate to the world that what Indian Parliament had passed, the resolution, it means every word of it. And I think the world should know India's resolve, and it is time that India demonstrates that in the Committee of Nations, that what Indian Parliament said, it means by every word of it.
And Mr. Vaid, how important is it to take a decision to defree several seats out of the 24 reserved seats for Pakistan-occupied Kashmir people?
See, India's claim internationally and within the country is that whole of Jammu and Kashmir belongs to J&K and belongs to as a consequence, belongs to India as a nation, and that is why the 24 seats were reserved in J&K Assembly, and I think giving due representation to the people from PoK who got displaced and came to in Jammu and Kashmir and other parts of the country, they need to get a due representation to give voice to the people, their issues, their problems, their the difficulties. People still living under Pakistan occupation, they can represent their problems not only in J&K Assembly, also in the Parliament of India. And I think the time has come that India demonstrates it.
And sir, how should we go about finding new generation of leaders who will represent the real people of PoK, many of whom live right here in India?
See, first thing is we should do the census, and I think many of them, as per reports, had also migrated to other nations. If you recall, some of them went to Europe, some of them went to America and Canada. I think they all need to be given a voice, and particularly those who came to India to settle here permanently. And let's listen to their voices. Let's listen to what they feel. Their people have issues with Pakistan, and how do they look upon towards India. Let their voice be heard in the Indian Parliament.
Sir, will you lend your voice and thought leadership to this idea, an idea which definitely needs to be converted now?
Yes, our voice is with the new generation of people from Mirpur, Kotli, Muzaffarabad and other areas of PoK who are as much citizens of Jammu and Kashmir and India as anybody else, you and me.
So last question before we let you go. What is your message for the lakhs of PoK displaced people who for the past 80 years have not been given a political voice, have not been given any kind of representation?
Pakistan has muzzled their voice. They have absolutely no freedom. They have absolutely no voice in Pakistan. I think let's give a message to them that India is waiting with arms open, and let them embrace India and raise up their issues, their concerns in the democratic institutions of India. And India welcomes all such citizens who genuinely belong to this nation.
Mr. Vaid, appreciate you taking out the time and speaking with us and giving your unique perspective on this campaign that NewsX is so passionate about.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.